applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffused, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's Doghouse. Today is Saturday, March 29th. I hope you're having a good weekend so far. I know I'm having a good weekend. We have a team that's going to be in the Elite Eight today playing against Alabama, so you know we're excited. Before I get started, though, I got my boy, Mr. BWT, Teddy, with me here today. How you doing today, Teddy?
What up? What up? What up? I'm doing great, man. Watching the Yankees lay the smack down on the Brewers right now. Judge got an opportunity to.
I see the Yankees got 20 runs on the board. They're going crazy today.
Yeah, Judge is up right now with an opportunity to hit 4 home runs in the day, and they have a position player in. So, and there it goes. He missed it. Damn.
Yeah. I see. I just got an update. 4 of 6, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, which is his career high. 4 runs and 14. I don't know what the TB is. You got
total bases.
14 total bases. Crazy. That's a lot. But unfortunately, they didn't make the cut today because I already have a list. But next week, they might be here, Teddy. If not, Aaron Judge more than likely is going to be here. So we have some really good people and teams to talk about today. Of course, you know we're gonna get started with the Doghouse. Here at Dave's Doghouse, we basically do lowlights and highlights of anyone that's in sports. And you, audience, have an opportunity to figure out exactly who it is I'm talking about right before I announce it. But like I said, before I get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I am live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now. So make sure that you can comment everywhere where you are, but make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm on the verge of getting to 500 subscribers. So whatever you can do to get me there, make sure you do that. I'm a part of the best network on YouTube. Let's just put it that way. R2L is the best network on YouTube. We have the Refuse to Lose show. We got BWT, Baseball with Teddy. And before we start, I'm gonna have you explain what you talk about in your show. We have Carl Talking College, who had a show this morning talking about the Elite Eight. So make sure you tune into that. We got RBO with Vaughn. Shout out to Vaughn because he actually helped me with this list. He also may be appearing on today's show. If not, it's okay. Just know that he helped me be able to finalize my list for this because this is all basketball related. That's Mr. RBO, so he knows. Then we got In the Red Corner, which is the hottest show on the network. You know, so it's a strictly boxing show. Not UFC, no exhibition matches, no bare knuckle, no wrestling. It's just strictly boxing. You want to tune into a great show? Look at that. And then they actually have Bomac, Terrence Crawford's trainer, on the show. So trust me, we doing something great here. Then of course, Dave's Doghouse is here. You got Unfazed as well. You got Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. So all I know is, Teddy, let them know what you talk about in BWT, because that is the baseball show I have seen so far.
Yeah. So recently it's a baseball show, clearly by the name Baseball with Teddy. I am a Yankees fan, so I go over every series. I go over every series after it ends, giving you the rundown of how every game went, how I felt about every game, stuff like that. I recently just had Dave and my boy Jovan on the show to predict some award winners and the divisions as well. And we also went through our top five at every position. So make sure you tune into that. And I'll be on here on YouTube and on my Instagram at that kid Ricardo. Uh, just posting throughout the entire season, anything that happens. Like I'm sure I'll be making a video about the great day that Aaron Judge had today. So make sure you guys tune into that. And there's my IG name right there, so you can
Yeah.
go ahead and follow me. I would highly appreciate it, and keep you in tune with what's going on in this baseball season, because I have a feeling it's going to be one of the best ones yet.
Hey, after what I seen last night with my boy Mookie Betts hitting a walk-off home run. Sorry, Carl, but it's Mookie. I'm sorry. I'm excited. Every time Mookie do something great, I'm excited, especially him being sick.
Yep.
This time losing, what was it, 15 pounds?
Yep.
Look, to lose 15 pounds and not eat nothing solid for the last 2-3 weeks and to have a walk-off home run, I think it's awesome.
He had 2 home runs last night.
2 home runs, that's right.
Yeah.
2 home runs and then the walk-off. Oh my god. Wow.
Yep.
Crazy. But Teddy, like I said, we talking about baseball. We talking about basketball today.
Yep.
So this very first one that we're gonna go over, we got puppy chow to serve, Teddy. You know how this goes, Teddy. You put your boy Jovan in here, so he been eating puppy chow for what, almost a year now. So
Yeah, yeah,
getting the little kibbles and bits. He ain't getting too much right now. My very first candidate that I'm putting into the doghouse today. He is he is the athletic director for one of the most prestigious colleges in North America. It's the biggest college in the state of Maryland. I mean, I think I just gave it up. He's the athletic director for the University of Maryland. His name is Damon Evans. You want to know why I'm putting this guy in the doghouse? Well, if you've been paying attention to college basketball, to the NCAA tournament, Maryland just made it to the Sweet 16. Both Maryland teams made it to Sweet 16, and then they got eliminated in the Sweet 16. So that's a great thing to talk about. It's been a while since Maryland got this far. It's been a while since Maryland has even been this good. They're now in the Big Ten Conference. They were part of the ACC for many years. Now they're part of the Big Ten. They haven't won in basketball or football since they got there. So this is one thing to actually celebrate. But we're not here to celebrate that. We're here to talk about something that he did to why the Maryland men's coach is possibly leaving the job to go to Villanova. He had a minor request to where he wanted to spend Christmas with his basketball players. And you know what they told him? It's too expensive. He just wanted to spend one extra night in New York to spend time with his players, and they told him it was too expensive. It's too expensive for you to award your coach to spend more time with his players? Crazy. Teddy, they're complaining a lot about people transferring during the tournament and stuff like that. That's something that can help prevent that. Mm-hmm. You Definitely. Don't leave someone that you trust. If you feel like this person trusts you, they love you, they treat you like family, you are prone to stay there. Mm-hmm. And this is in the NIL era, sorry. And you're doing this now? You haven't done anything in a long time. I don't remember the last time Maryland's men's basketball has even been relevant. Me either. I mean, even when Angel Reese was there, well, that's the women's basketball. The women's basketball has always been relevant, but let's be honest, most people are watching men's basketball than they are watching women's basketball. Yeah. I watch both, and I talk about both, but that's just me. I'm talking about the majority. Mm-hmm. You have an opportunity to make Maryland a perennial basketball school again, like when they had Grievous Vasquez, when they had Juan Dixon that came out of Maryland. Like those were perennial basketball players that came out of Maryland. And you have an opportunity of making that happen again, but you're not helping yourself in that situation. Why would you tell your coach no to spend time with his players? First of all, colleges make millions and billions of dollars off of sports. You mean to tell me you couldn't spend an extra couple thousand just to keep your players there and the coach there for an extra night on Christmas so they can have a good time together? It just baffles me. I know you were talking about today, but I'm pretty sure you got some more to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of outrageous that he didn't let the team stay one extra night in New York. I mean, if you celebrate Christmas, I know there's some people that don't, but if you celebrate Christmas, right, the ultimate Christmas experience is in New York, right? In Rockefeller
Exactly.
Center with that big old tree, right? You got Home Alone, you got Macaulay Culkin, everyone's watched that movie, right? Everyone wants to do
One
what
of
he
them.
did. Like, it's like, come on, you can't give these kids one extra night in New York City for what? Like you said, a couple $1,000s, man. I mean, with the money that these kids bring into the university, and it's it's honestly a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame, and it's ridiculous that the fans when they were walking out to go to the Sweet 16 game, the
Hmm.
fans were booing the head coach as if it was his fault. It's
Yeah,
not even on him. He leaving because your athletic director or whoever's in charge is not allowing him to spend extra time with his players. He's
yeah.
advocating for his players, and they keep telling him no. You think someone's going to stay when you keep telling them no? No,
I'm
they're
not.
not kids. They're adults. This is an adult. These kids are most kids nowadays are going to college where the money is.
Hmm.
There are certain places where they go because of the school, like Duke, and North Carolina, Michigan State, Alabama, and Alabama is just now becoming a basketball school. Think
Hmm.
about Kansas, Kentucky, Auburn's now becoming is becoming that kind of a school. That there's so many other UConn, like I mean, other than Dan Hurley, but still, you have an opportunity to put yourself in that position, and you're ruining it by not allowing your coach and your players to spend time together. So I'm sorry. I mean, sorry, not sorry, because I'm actually not sorry about this.
Yeah.
You deserve to be in the doghouse, so this is where
Hmm.
you're gonna go. My guy, you
Yeah.
in the doghouse. All right. Now, I have a picture that I want to post that I want to talk about. And this is I got to give a shout out to shot coverage for this because this here has started something. Like I said, shout out to shot coverage. Um, this right here has started something that has been, you know, kind of going on for a few days now, Teddy. We have had some controversy going on in the NBA between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. There are people taking sides. You know, LeBron was right. No, Stephen A. right. You know, LeBron went too low. Stephen A. went too low. You got LeBron lying on the air saying that he didn't ask for, he didn't know that AD was getting traded. Then we found out Marquise Morris said that he was requested in the trade that involved AD going over there. So you got that. Then you got Stephen A. lying, saying LeBron wasn't at Kobe's memorial. Why did he even bring that up? I don't know. But he lied about that. It's entertaining to some. Some people say it's low. Some people say
Hmm.
it's very childish.
Yeah.
I ain't here to talk about Stephen A. I'm not throwing him in the doghouse. However, the other person is actually a part of this team. This team hasn't been playing well over the last few weeks or so. And people gonna say, well, LeBron was out. Don't matter to me. He played the last few games, right? So yeah, the Lakers are in the doghouse. Just like I made them dogs, I could put them in the doghouse. The Lakers, Teddy, when they got Luka, they started out 8-2 in their first 10 games, Teddy. Now, in their last 12 games, they are 4-8. They have lost 4 of their last 5 games. And in between that time, they got swept by the Chicago Bulls. And guess what? Josh Giddey had a triple-double on them both times. Josh Giddey and Kobe White own the Lakers this season. They pretty much cooked them, barbecued them, put them in the stove. They serving them up, puppy child. That's how bad did they beat them. Now, and the night before, which was the day we saw all the controversy about LeBron talking about Stephen A. Smith saying he's going on the Taylor Swift tour. He said that Brian Windhurst is weird because he kept calling him his best friend when he barely knows him. So Braun was having a field day. Then come to find out in the first quarter, he ends the first half only with 3 points. He had 3 points in the first half. He was this close to not even scoring double-digit points and ending his double-digit point streak. He ended up getting his double-digit points, but he struggled. Let's be honest. Bron did not play well in that game.
Yep.
He got saved by a buzzer beater that he put in after Luka Doncic missed a floater. Speaking of Luka, shout out to my boy Vaughn because he had mentioned this in the NBA chat, and him and AJ were kind of sort of going at it during that time. But Luka is one of the worst defenders in the league. Let's just be honest about it. He's not good defensively. He is the reason why they were getting barbecued in the finals last year against the Celtics. Jaylen Brown was going past him. Drew Holiday. It doesn't matter. Whoever Luka was on, barbecue chicken. That's all it was. They cooked them every single time. And guess what? He leads the league in blow-bys this year. If he on you, that's an automatic layup.
Yeah.
I saw 4 possessions, Teddy, in that game against the Pacers where Luka he almost lost him the game, even though he had great numbers. Defensively, he was just bad. Tyrese Halliburton blew by him 3 times. And then Nembhard blew by him another time. All buckets. I don't understand it. His effort is just not there defensively. And we saw it in the first couple games where he was giving up some kind of effort defensively, and now he just lollygagging. And people, me, myself included, were questioning Nico Harrison, like, why would you trade away Luka Doncic? I still think it's a crazy trade to trade away your franchise player to Lakers. Out of all teams, you give him to the Lakers. But his reasoning kind of made sense. It was, he lack of defense and him possibly not caring about his weight. I mean, he lost weight, so he doesn't look heavy, but his defense is still bad. The crazy part about them losing that game against the Bulls, LeBron James was a part of the last 3 buckets that the Bulls had. He had a 3 in his face in the corner from Williams. Then he threw a lazy pass in bounds, which gave Kobe White the 3 to take the lead. Then, of course, the next time down, Austin Reeves, goes down and gets the bucket, put the Lakers up 1. And then when Josh Giddey gets the ball with 3.2 seconds left, he heaves it from half court in LeBron's face and cashes it. So, Bron, I think you might need to just stay out of the media.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to shut up and dribble. That's not me. I'm not the one to say that. But I think right now you just need to focus on basketball. You have your podcast, and hey, do your podcast. Do what you got to do with Steve Nash. Keep that podcast because I think you have a great mind when it comes to basketball. You have the highest IQ in basketball. So I want to hear what you got to say. But as far as talking about Stephen A. Smith and all that, I just think you need to relax. I say stay on your podcast, and that's it. I don't think you need to do any more guest appearances. Stay on your podcast, talk basketball, leave it at that. Teddy, what you got?
Man, I'm a Celtics fan, so if I'm gonna keep it as PG as possible, the Lakers suck, man. The Lakers suck. You know, no, but in all seriousness, yeah, I believe that first couple games that they had after the trade, I think they were playing with uh all types of adrenaline on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, all right, now we have to play basketball. And it just doesn't look right on the defensive side of the ball. Like you said, Luca, he leads the league in blow-bys, and he was able to do that in Dallas because he hasn't changed since Dallas. He was able to do that in Dallas because he had the bigs down low,
Yeah,
you
he
know?
had Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively down there. He had those
Yep.
guys to be able to help them defensively. He don't have that in LA right now.
Exactly. Who you got? Jackson Hayes. Nobody's scared of him.
No.
Like, so I mean, he's gonna put the ball in the bucket, but he's gotta take this off season to really train his body to become different. And that's what's really gonna put him over the top of all these players, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Well, we've already talked about him. You know what this part of the show is. You know what the call is. So get used to it. Lakers, you're in the doghouse. My guy, you're in the doghouse. All right, Teddy, I got another picture I got to post now. This one right here. Yep. So you can see where this is going. Memphis Grizzlies fired head coach Taylor Jenkins 9 games before the playoffs start. Still got 9 games left in the NBA season. They let him go. And you know what? Guess who was in charge of that? GM Zach Kleiman. That's who I'm putting in the doghouse today.
He just looks like a tool. Look at him.
Just look, I heard all the things that were an issue with the Grizzlies so far. So if you did not watch Refuse to Lose yesterday with me and Joe, I'm going to let you guys know what I said yesterday because we had this topic yesterday. The Grizzlies, since the All-Star break, are 8-11. Now you say, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad until you hear they've only beaten one team over 500 since January 1st. And you know who that team was? That team was the Dallas Mavericks. And they had 8 players that were out.
Mm-hmm.
So they blew them out, of course. So you're supposed to win that game. Not only that, they were 36-18 before the All-Star break. They dropped from 2nd place in the Western Conference to 5th place in the Western Conference. And they are technically tied at the 4th spot, but the Lakers currently hold the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Kleiman called him to the office and fired him right then and there.
Absolutely insane.
This is 9 games left in the regular season for your team, and you let your head coach go now? Not only did you let the head coach go, you fired his assistant coaches too. So you got a whole new regime going, and your team is about to be in the playoffs. They're at the 5th spot. I see if they were 13th, if they were 12th or 11th. Okay, I understand it. That means that you know the season's over and done with. You want to hurry up and get things out the way. This don't seem or look right. It just don't make sense. And while Taylor Jenkins was there, he has the most wins in Grizzlies history. You've had a top 3 defense since he's been there. And he's top 10 in wins since he became a head coach. And you let him go now? All I know is he's definitely going to be highly sought this offseason. He's going to have a job immediately. He's going to be the
Oh, yeah,
highest. He's going to be the highest sought head coach in the offseason this year.
definitely.
You make this decision right now when your team has a chance to go do something in the playoffs. I get it. I understand it. You are looking at what he's done in the playoffs the last few seasons. He hasn't gotten past the second round at all, and he's only gotten to the second round once as a head coach. So I get it. You want something new, but why do that now? You knew all this information before the season started that you only had one playoff series victory. You already knew that. So why do you wait until the season is almost over to finally let him go? It just doesn't make sense. Teddy? I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing, Teddy. I don't know. I mean, we in the Eastern Conference, so we don't, we're not too worried about that. But
Yeah, no.
it just don't make sense.
I mean, you might be worried about it because now you got somebody to replace Spoelstra.
Spoelstra not going nowhere.
Hey, you never know. You never know. They might hear you complaining on Dave's Doghouse. And you're like, damn.
Hey,
This is how Heat Nation feels.
I ain't say fired, man. I ain't say that.
But no, man, this is just stupidity, in my opinion. They're in contention for the playoffs, right? And most of the season, Ja really hasn't been playing. He's been hurt.
Exactly, and that's the reason why you've been bad. Is because your best player been out.
That's what I'm saying. Like that means that he's doing his job. If he's in contention to make the playoffs, like without your best player, it just makes no sense to me at all. Like I would understand it, like you said, if they were like the 12, 13 seed, all right, get new guys in to have the whole off season to get a whole new staff in, get your training right, all that. But this is just ridiculous.
Teddy, I'm really dumbfounded by this. To me, it doesn't make sense to pull this move right now. It really doesn't.
It doesn't.
You could have waited until let's say if they lose in the first round. All right, first series it's over. Boom, you can let them go right then and there.
Yeah,
fine. We cool. We seen that before.
That's fine. Yeah, that happens.
But right now, when you about to go to the playoffs, you bring in a new head coach who this is first time as a head coach in the NBA. Now I get it. He was in the year league. He was he coached the Paris team, and I understand all of that. But this is the NBA. This is not. It's not. It's not that. This is the NBA. This is totally different. Totally different. So, Zach Kleiman, you in the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. And I haven't done this in a while, but Teddy, I actually have a dishonorable mention today.
Oh.
I know this is going to catch you off guard because you don't know who this is going to be. But it won't take you long to figure it out. Because we just mentioned that person's name just now, not too long ago. He is the best player on the team from the guy we just talked about. John Morant. The reason why I'm putting John Morant in the dishonorable mentions is because he seems to be the reason why Taylor Jenkins got fired.
Oh, I didn't know that.
John Morant has been complaining about the way the offense has been going since this year started. So now the head coach is gone. Your head coach is gone. You got 9 games left in the season. And they said that there were times where it felt like you were energized and ready to go for the game. And then there were times you felt like you didn't even want to be there. So, Ja, you just came off a injury-riddled season. You weren't there last year. You were out for almost the entire season.
Suspended, not even hurt.
So, I mean, what do you think was going to happen this season? I mean, y'all are right there. You're 44-29 in the season. It's not like you're 29-44. You almost won 50 games. You still have an opportunity to win 50 games this season. And this would be the third time, Josh, since you've been there, that you won 50 games. And you gone? Like, that's it? You don't you coming in with bad energy and you're the leader of this team? You're not supposed to do that. If you're the leader of this team, you're supposed to make sure that your team is good. You're supposed to make sure that everyone is on the same page, and you ain't doing that right now, Ja. You are a part of the reason why now Taylor Jenkins is without a job. Now, I'm gonna say this again. Miami Heat, we need some assistance over there with Spo. If we can get him as an assistant coach in Miami, let's make it happen. All right. But I just, yeah. I knew that was gonna shock you. I knew that was gonna shock you because you didn't know that, but I found that out. I was like, man, come on.
That's kind of crazy, man. At some point, I feel like us in the media need to hold the players accountable for that as well.
Yes.
Because it is great that you brought that up because all the time it's always, oh, the coaches. The coaches write up a plan. The players got to do the plan. And if that player is coming in on certain nights saying that he doesn't feel like being there, maybe he shouldn't be there, right? Because there's people paying their hard-earned money to go watch you play. Like they travel, they come from all over the country, maybe sometimes even all over the world. You can inspire some little kid from like China or something like that. Their parents save up bread, bring them over here to the US to watch you play, and you don't feel like playing that night. Maybe you play a little off, or like it. The fans don't deserve that. You know what I mean? And that's not right. That's not right. And for you to be complaining about the way that the offense, what? Because you weren't the integral part of the offense now? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he wanted the ball more. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of crazy because he's been the best player on that team since he was drafted. So I don't know what else he wanted at all.
Teddy, I'm just as confused as you are. I don't know exactly what else he wanted. He's on a winning team, a team that has a chance to go do something in the playoffs, and no one knows exactly what's going to happen in the playoffs. We don't know until it actually happens. Yeah. Like, no one knew that the Miami as the AC was going to get to the finals. No one predicted that at all. No one thought that the Warriors would go all the way to the championship that same year as the Celtics and win it all. No one knew that was going to happen. No one knew that the Dallas Mavericks was going to meet the finals last year. Like, no one figured that. People thought it was going to be OKC or Denver. Those were the two main consistent teams, or maybe Minnesota. No one thought that the Mavericks were an afterthought.
Yeah.
And right now, the Grizzlies are an afterthought. But you could clearly make a chance to get there. Now you don't even have an actual. You got a guy that's there. There's the interim coach, but you don't have a head coach now. So it's ridiculous, Teddy. For that, I'm not even going to give you a sound. We're just going to move on to the next one because you don't. You just don't deserve one. Honorable mention, Teddy. I know we got this guy out of the tournament, and I'm happy that we got him out because he was thinking that he was going to make a difference against us. But I got to give him a little bit of praise because he actually did play well this tournament season. And I'm talking about Caleb Love for Arizona. Caleb Love for Arizona, he put up 29 points against Oregon. He was 10-18 from the field. He was 5-7 from 3. He had 9 rebounds in that game and 4 assists. Against Duke, even though he got eliminated, we were talking trash and he was going to get strapped. And that didn't happen. He actually balled out in that game. He put up 35 points. He was 11-21 from the field. He had 5-11 from three-pointer. He had 8 and 9 free throws. And he played 40 minutes in that game. He played every single minute of that game. You got to give the guy some kind of praise for that. Now, he doesn't deserve to be a dog because, I mean, they're not in the Elite 8. They're in the Sweet 16. So, you get an honorable mention. But he has played well. He's played great so far. He played great this year for Arizona. This is his last year for Arizona, so he's more likely going to be the NBA draft. Don't know where he's going to be projected to go, but he's had his career started in UNC. The last 2 years he's been with Arizona. What you got to say about him, Teddy?
It's like your boy Kendrick said, not enough. I mean, he came out he came out and balled in the tournament, but I mean, shout out to him to do what he was able to do in the tournament. He had a pretty good season, but I mean, now he's gonna declare for the draft, and good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully, you don't go up against the Celtics because it won't be enough again.
Mm-hmm.
Just sorry, buddy. It's just the way
Not
it
enough.
works.
But I'll at least give you a call. You'll get the doghouse cry. So
Yeah.
you're honorable mention, man. So you play well this year. I'm gonna give praise to you because we were talking trash and you weren't gonna do much, but
Oh yeah,
hey, you proved us wrong. So you get this call.
definitely.
Now, Teddy, we get to the fun part of the show. We get to talk about the dogs of the week, Teddy. And I know you can't wait until the last one, but we're not gonna worry about that one right now. We're gonna start from start to finish. You know,
I saved the best for last, dog. It's
one
all good. I know why you set it up the way you set it up.
hey, you know, I got a guest coming on. I figured I have the guesses. You know, I figured I make my guests feel a little more welcome by having them, announce the last one. Because it's the last one. If y'all don't know, is the big dog. I want to see what y'all think the big dog is going to be. You tell me who you believe is going to be. I'm gonna just tell you this: it's an NBA team who's on a win streak. That's all I'm gonna give you right now. So you tell me in the comment section who do you think is the dog? Who's gonna be the big dog? But Teddy, first up, it's a guy that you have talked trash about. You know, he was on the Olympic team. You know, he was that guy who was on the Olympic team who got an A without having to do anything. He was one of two players that did that, but this other player he'll be talked about later in the show.
Well, this guy just literally just put his name on the paper.
Exactly. He was just there to be happy. You know, smile with the gold medal and everything. He was just there. He was okay with the experience.
Yep.
But you know what? It hasn't been just an experience for him right now in the NBA. He has his team currently fourth. I believe it's fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
Fourth in the Eastern Conference right now. And he's played well since he had beef with a former NBA player. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton. This is what he's done so far in March, Teddy. 103 assists and 9 turnovers in March so far. That's all. That's what he has so far in March. He is third in assists and 220th in turnovers in the month of March. He balling, Teddy. He has been cooking. Against the Lakers, even though they lost that game on a buzzer beater, he has 16 points, 18 assists, and 1 turnover.
Wow.
I know a lot of people were talking about how what's the guy that used to play for Duke? Point guard. I can't remember his name. But they were talking about his assist to turnover ratio and how he was going to be so good. He's the point guard for the Phoenix Suns now.
Oh, Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones. They were talking about Tyus Jones, how he was like, like he's a really good point guard. His assist to turnover ratio. I mean, he ain't doing jack squat with the Phoenix Suns right now. I'm just saying. If you want to talk about assist to turnover ratio, you need to bring up Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, since the beef with Tim Hardaway Sr., this is what he was averaging before the beef. 17.8 points per game, 8.5 assists. He was shooting 37% from the three-point line, and he had 1.3 steals per game. Since the beef, 22 points per game, 12 assists per game, almost 49% from three, Teddy, and almost 3 steals per game. You woke up a monster, Tim Hardaway Sr. You woke up a monster. He has been balling. He has the Pacers in position to possibly make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second time in 2 years. They are going to have home court advantage because they're the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference right now. The Bucks aren't going to get there. The closest competition to me, I believe, would be the Detroit Pistons.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if the Pistons are going to get there or not, but the Pistons are not too far behind. Right now, the Pacers actually have it right now, so we'll see what's going to happen with that. This is also what he has done in a 5-game stretch earlier this season. It was late February, early March when he did this, Teddy. Tyrese Halliburton had totaled 117 points in 5 games, 60 assists, only 5 turnovers. That's 1 turnover a game. 62.7% from the field and almost 59% from three-point, Teddy. Tyrese Halliburton has been cooking. And it's the reason why the Pacers had a phenomenal game against the Washington Wizards and put about 162 points against them, what is the second most points in franchise history. The most points was when they scored 177 points in the ABA. This is their most points in the NBA history, but in the entire franchise history, this is the second most. It's also the most points that they've scored, that any team has scored all season long. It was the biggest defeat in Wizards history. They just straight dominated the Wizards, Teddy. They had a team total of 27 threes made. 11 players made a 3-point that night. 11, Teddy. And who was the big part of that? Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
He was doing his thing, Teddy. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, he's playing really well. The way that he's able to drive and kick and get these guys open for basically wide open shots is what is helping these guys out a lot. And it's part of the reason why when I went on the Refuse to Lose show earlier in the year, when I was asked who's going to threaten the Celtics, I picked the Pacers because of their ability because of his ability to do what he does. And that shot that he hit against the Bucks, oh my goodness.
Gosh.
Like did you
That
see Devin
4-point
Ham?
play? Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Okay.
The team needed it, and he came down 1-2, bang, right in Giannis's face. So I mean, he's been balling, and credit to him because he's helping that team out a lot. And even when they don't have him, they still play well. But he just takes him to another level with his size and his IQ of the game. It's really good for the team.
It really is, man. Tyrese Halliburton, man. I mean, you the first of today to be able to say that you're a dog. This ain't your first time here, but welcome back. All right, Teddy. Now we head to college basketball. This guy we're actually going to face today. We're going to see exactly what he's capable of. I mean, we know what he's capable of, but we're going to see what he's going to do, what he does today.
Just like your boy Kendrick said, not enough.
He plays for one of the 4 SEC teams that are in the Elite 8, Teddy. Now, remember, they were talking about how they possibly might have 8 teams in the Elite 8. No, it was 4. You know what other conference had 4 in the Elite 8 team? Oh, the ACC. You know what? We didn't even have this many teams in the tournament, and we still had 4. So it don't matter. The results are saying you can have 28, you can have 7. It don't matter. You got 4 in the Elite 8. Congrats to you. But this team right here seems to be one of, if not the best team in the SEC. He is their point guard, Mark Sears. Mark Sears for Alabama was a part of a game in the Sweet 16 where they, as a team, hit 25 3-pointers against BYU. 25.
They said if you took away all their 2-pointers, they still would have won the game.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Because if you just add the free throws and 3-pointers, they still lose. Crazy. Mark Sears, in the first 2 games combined, was averaging 17 points per game. He was 10 to 27 from the field, and he was 1 of 9 from 3. In the first half against BYU, he had 17 points, 6 of 9 from the field, and he was 5 of 7 from 3. He finished the game with 34 points, 8 assists, 3 steals, and he was 10 to 16 from 3 points, Eddie. The 25 points, the 25 3-pointers made in that game by Alabama were the most ever in March Madness history, Teddy. Most ever in March Madness history. And Mark Sears is a baller. He's a dog. He, no matter what situation you put him in, he's going to make a play. So it's going to be key of how we play him defensively with Sion James, and Khan and Tyrese and Coop and Malachi. It's going to be key. We'll see exactly if our guy gets if Malik Brown plays again today. He only played 4 minutes in the last game, so we'll see exactly how healthy he is today. See how much more he is involved. But we're gonna have to make sure we play really good defense today. We can't pull what we pulled against in the last game and allow 93 points and expect us to win that game. I mean, we can put up 100 again, but I would rather we don't allow 93 points again. Because that's not a Duke defense that I saw in that game. Because Mark Seals can make a difference. He can take over a game. That's one thing that I've seen from him, especially with this school. He can take over a game, and that's something that we got to control. Teddy, what you got?
Yeah, this kid's been playing great. Can't take anything away from his game. He can shoot. That's one thing, man. He can shoot. And when they make a bucket and they slow-mo the player walking back up the court, every time this kid is like, they better stop playing with me. And you can see it on national television. I'm just like, damn, this kid's feeling it right now.
Yeah.
And he has every right to, because he's going out there and producing big numbers for this school, and a big part of what they've been doing this year for the entirety of the year out of the tournament as well.
Absolutely, man. And he got Bam in the Elite 8. Final 4, I don't think so, but Elite 8, he got him there. So, Mark Sears, you a dog. And now, this very next person played for the University of Duke. Should I say Duke University? He was the number 1 overall pick just a couple seasons ago. His team was in the playoffs as a top 6 seed in the NBA in the Eastern Conference. He had some injuries to start the year. His team is right now in the play-in tournament at the 7th seed. But it doesn't stop what he's done the last few games. I'm talking about Paolo Banchero. Yeah. Paolo, or as Vaughn would say, top 5 Paolo. I don't believe that, but hey, top 5. That's what my Vaughn says. Shout out to RBO. Make sure you tune into RBO. He just had a show talking about the Eastern Conference just a couple days ago. Go check it out. Subscribe to his channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Paolo has the longest active streak in the NBA of 30-point games so far right now. We know what Shea did and everything. Right now, Paolo has the most. He has 5 straight games of 30-plus points. He is the first Magic player since Dwight Howard did it in 2011 to have 4 straight games of 30-plus points. over his last 5 games, these are his numbers, Teddy. Last game, in the loss, he put up 35 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Then the game before that, 32 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Then it was 30 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Then the 2 games after that, he put up 30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 31 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Paolo has been balling. Paolo has been one of the best young players in the NBA since he got into the league. He is a franchise-changing player because in his second season in the NBA, he got his team to the playoffs. And no one saw that coming. I'll be honest about it. No one saw the Magic get into the playoffs, let alone being a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. No one saw that coming. Miami Heat still beat him in the series, but just saying. Paolo he's been cooking, man. And even though that it hasn't necessarily resulted to wins most of the time, you know who started the Cavs losing streak? It was the Magic.
Yep.
It was Paolo and the Magic because the Cavs they've been known to talk some trash, and they've been doing that. They were talking trash. Even the fans was talking trash, and Paolo was like, all right, we'll see what happens. And Paolo and the boys went in there and ended that 16-game win streak. And then the Cavaliers went on a 4-game losing streak after that. Teddy, our boy cooking since he's been in the league. How you feel about him?
He's not our boy anymore because he plays on another team.
He does, but we still want him to do well. Let's be honest about it. We don't want him to go. We don't want him to win a title with this team, but you know.
No, but yeah, this kid's, man, talk about scoring. This kid has been scoring, man, and it looks like so effortless. Like there hasn't been games where he's been shooting like a ton of shots, you know, and it's efficient scoring. He's getting to his spot and he's getting his shot, like, and that's what's gonna help this team take the lead. Last year they pushed the Cavs to Game 7 of the series. So I feel like this year they might make a little bit of more noise come playoff time, and Paolo is going to be a very big reason why they do that.
Yep. Him, Franz Wagner. You know they got KCP on the team now, so they got some good pieces there to help them compete and do something in the Eastern Conference this year. So let's see what happens with Magic. Let's see what happens. RBO, this your team, man. This your guy. This your team. Let's see what they do. Paolo, you a dog. All righty then. We're getting down to the nitty gritty, Teddy. We got 3 more candidates left, and then you get to finally announce who the last one is. This person right here, I don't know if it's either one of our guys. Well, he's one of my favorite players in the league. Let's put it. I'll be honest about it. One of my favorite players in the league. But one thing about him is he hasn't always been healthy. And although he's considered a winner, because whether people want to believe it or not, he does have two NBA championships and 2 NBA Finals MVPs. Now, we know some injuries that happened for him allow him to win that second one. But it doesn't defeat the fact that he actually has 2 NBA championships and 2 NBA titles. He is the best player on this team. He has a name where people call him the Claw. It's Kawhi Leonard. Now, I know I talked about James Harden before. And shout out to James Harden because my James Harden short has 2,000 views on YouTube right now. If we can get that to 3,000, please make sure you go watch that, go share it, get that video to 3,000. Kawhi Leonard Teddy, is averaging 27 points and 8 rebounds over the last 8 games. Since the All-Star break, though, he's averaging about 25 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 2 steals, shooting 52% from the field and 44% from three. This is Kawhi Leonard we're talking about. He ain't known as a 3-point shooter.
Nope.
And he's shooting 44% from three. In the last 12 games, Teddy, him and James Harden have the Clippers. Their record are 10-2 in the last 12 games. 10-2.
Wow.
And I hear people are saying that, this is why the Clippers are one of the scariest teams in the league. Hold on now. The Clippers have been one of the scariest teams in the league for the last 3 years, and they don't get nowhere. So let's wait. Let's wait before we say that, because we have to see Kawhi play an entire playoff series. We have to see that first. That happens, then you got it. In the last game that he played in, which was last night against Brooklyn, Kawhi Leonard had 25 points at halftime.
Okay.
There was a point in that game where the Clippers were up by 40. I think the score was 97-57. And then there was another score was 100-61. They were barbecuing the Brooklyn Nets that night. He ended the game scoring 31 points, 6 rebounds. He had 4 steals, 2 blocks. He was 5 of 6 from 3. He was almost perfect from 3, Teddy. And he had a positive 32 plus minus. His impact on the floor is crazy. I mean, we know how good he is defensively, but now he's getting it together offensively. My goodness. Teddy, on March 10th, he hit the first game-winning buzzer beater for the Clippers since Lemon Pepper Lou did it on March 17th, 2019. That was 6 years ago, Teddy.
And you know why I remember that shot so well? Because it lost me a parlay. I needed that game to go to overtime, man. He just wanted it a buzzer beater.
Hey, Lemon Pepper Lou was like, hold up now. Gotta get this. Kawhi Leonard and James Harden currently have the Los Angeles Clippers at 42-31 in the season, at the 6th spot with the Golden State Warriors, but they currently hold the tiebreaker, so they're in the 6th spot. The Warriors are in 7th. Teddy, 1, do you believe that the Clippers are a scary team right now? And how do you feel about Kawhi?
If healthy, definitely the Clippers are a team to look out for in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi has been playing. It's like he just flicked a switch and he's back to his Toronto days, right? Or even his early Spurs days.
Mm-hmm.
And he's hitting those mid-range. And I believe the reason why his 3-point percentage is so high is because of James Harden's ability to drive and kick. And
Mm-hmm.
and he's basically like I said about Tyrese, he's getting his teammates wide open shots, right? So and Kawhi's been hitting them at a high clip. So I feel like he's always been a top player in this league, and it's just he needs to stay healthy, right? Stephen A's been talking about it on ESPN these past couple weeks. When people bring up the Clippers, he says he's going to drop 40 one night and walk out just like us, and then the next game he's going to have some undisclosed injury. So
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that Kawhi can stay healthy so we can really see what this Clippers team is capable of. And I also want their coach Ty Lue to get healthy as well. He's been dealing with a back issue, and
Absolutely.
he hasn't even been coaching. So
That's
it's
the crazy part about this.
yeah,
Tyler ain't even been there, and they still been winning games.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. So they're definitely a team to look out for in the Western Conference.
Well, y'all heard it from Teddy. Clippers are dogs, and Kawhi's a dog. So, Kawhi Leonard, welcome. All right, you know what, Teddy? I'm gonna let you introduce the last two. You know what? Because the last two, I know you were really excited about the last one, but I know you're happy about this one too.
Yeah.
This one here, he plays today. He's on our favorite team. He is the best player on our favorite team. He is the National Player of the Year, the National Freshman of the Year. Who am I talking about, Teddy?
Say it with me. Say it with me. Coombs.
Cooper. Let's go.
Man.
Cooper Flag, man. Yes. I know I talked about him before. Like they probably say, David, you biased, man. You a Duke fan? Man, I don't care what y'all guys say. Look, he cooked. He cooked. Cooper Flag in that game against Arizona.
What?
Not only did he ball out, at the end of the first half, he hit a momentum changing 3-pointer to end the half.
Yes, he did.
That is what changed a lot of things for Duke. Is we started the second half hot. We turned it up in the second half. Now, Arizona ended up catching up in that game, and they made it closer in the end. But they didn't get any close than like 5 or 6 points.
Yeah,
that's as close as it got for them, and that's close enough. But we made sure that they didn't take a lead. He is the first Duke player ever to put up these numbers. And not just the first Duke player, but the first player in NCAA tournament history to put up these numbers.
Wow.
30 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks. He was also 3 of 5 from 3, and he had a steal in that game as well. He is the only player to ever do that for Duke and in March Madness. And I said it. He's the National Player of the Year as a freshman, and he's a National Freshman of the Year. That lets you know exactly how great he is. He joined Ed O'Bannon, who played for UCLA in 1994, as the only players in D1 NCAA tournament history to record 30 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks in a game.
Jeez.
Through 3 games in the NCAA tournament, Teddy, Cooper Flag has 62 points, 22 rebounds, and 7 assists through 3 games. And you know what's crazy about this, Teddy? Duke itself has the most Freshman of the Year winners than all time. All time, Teddy. No one has more Freshman of the Year winners than Duke has. Now, the award hasn't been out that long, but it's also double any program. So all the other programs aren't even that close. Duke also has the most Elite 8 appearances in the NCAA in the 64-team era, which started in 1985 with 19. This is Duke's 19th appearance. Cooper Flag is, I believe, the only player that is top 10 in offense and defense in the NCAA, Teddy. He is great offensively and great defensively. Whoever he goes to in the NBA is going to get a heck of a player.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Teddy.
Kid's a freak, man. He's only 18 years old. Start of the year, 17. His first week in college, he played Kentucky and Arizona early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Some people were like, "Oh, this kid's not really it. He's still got to prove it to me." Has he done enough? Has he done enough?
I think he's done more than enough, Teddy.
And I know that one person will say, "Finish the job," because that's what he always says.
Exactly.
And
he just mad his team couldn't finish a job.
And we are 3 games away from finishing that job. You know what they say? They hate us because they ain't us.
There you go.
Um, but this kid, the consensus #1 overall pick. Um, his game is amazing. The way that he's he can control the ball and he gets people open. These no look passes that he's been doing, um,
Mm,
getting his feet in the paint and then dishing it off to our boy Malawak. It's just, and then or the Proctor for a wide open three or
hmm
Sion for a wide open three. It's just he plays the game so well, and you don't really see that he's like the way that he plays. He doesn't play it like a freshman. Right, the
Right.
first couple weeks he definitely did. It looked like the speed of the game was just a little too quick for him, but he definitely matured throughout the entire college season. There was a story of Brian Scalabrine when he went up to play pickup basketball up in Maine, where Cooper Flag is from, and he he was on the team and he was just cooking kids at the D1 level at the age of 13.
Mm.
And Scalabrine knew that this kid was gonna be the real deal at that time. And I mean, people can say what they want about Scalabrine, but he's a champ, baby. He's a champ. Like he said in the press conference after. In 5 years, you won't even remember it. In 10 years, I'll tell my kids I played. In 15 years, I'll tell them I was a finals MVP.
Here you go. Here you
But
go.
yeah,
Look,
man. Cooper
crazy.
Flag is gonna be very fun to watch this game tonight. A lot of high scoring. There's gonna be some scoring in this game. Two of the high powered offenses in the entire nation,
Hmm
and two of the best defenses as well. So I'm really interested to see how this game plays out. And obviously, I'm rooting for Duke.
So am I. We agree here. We agree here.
Yes,
So I
sir.
mean, Coop, you used to this, my man. It's not your first time being here. Welcome to the dogs, Coop. All right, people. We're finally here. We here at the last stop. The last stop to find out who is the big dog. This team, mm, it's the team
Let
that
me
I
hear.
despise the most.
Let me hear it, David. Let me hear it, man.
Let's
Let
be
me
honest
hear
about it.
it,
I despise the most, but
man.
I have to give them. I have to give them praise where it's due. I can't be too biased and not talk about how great they've been playing. As much as I hate them and I want them to lose every game of the year and hope they lose the rest of the games of the season, even though that won't happen, of course.
Jeez.
I mean, they play the Spurs today. That should be a dub, of course.
Yeah.
Um, Let me just reveal it, man. They are the reigning, defending NBA champions of the world. Yes, I said the world. The Boston Celtics. Teddy, I'm not going to say too much because I'm going to let you say what you got to say about the Celtics, but I just got a few stats I'm going to run off for you. Then the floor is yours. The Celtics are currently on a 7-game win streak. If they win today, that'll make it 8. So far in March, Teddy, the Celtics are 12-1 in March, tied first in the NBA. They are first in offensive rating, first in the NBA in assist turnover ratio, first in the NBA in fewest turnovers, first in the NBA in 3-pointers made, of course, first in points in the paint. They're first in the points off turnovers. So that's a good stat. That's defense right there. And they're first in opponents' free throw attempts, which means they aren't fouling a lot, which means they're playing good defense, physical enough, but not too physical to where they're getting in foul trouble. Teddy, floor's yours.
Yeah, man. those stats are amazing to hear from a fan that doesn't like us. It's great. It's great to hear. Um, but the Boston Celtics, man, they've been playing great basketball all season. Um, we we had that little scare on Monday when Tatum rolled his ankle, but he's fine. Like you said on I think it was the Kelsey brothers podcast. It's a good thing of being 27. You can just bounce back, and you're young. So, um, but this team has been playing great. Um, we've we've played. We haven't been playing down to our competition like I've said that we have in the past years, which means that like that Joe Mazzulla is really instilling that mentality that he has as a coach. Like he's a freak. Like there's no other way to describe Joe Mazzulla as a head coach. As a person, the way that he goes out and handles his press conferences, the way that he goes out and addresses the team, like even last year on the timeout, he went out to defend a player shooting a three. Like no coaches do that. Um, and it just instills that mentality into this team, and I believe that we are going to repeat. Um, we we didn't look too good with KP out for that illness that he had, but once he came back, we were clicking again. Um, we got uh, Peyton Pritchard setting records for people that come off the bench with the most threes in a game. I believe he scored like 1,000 points or something like that. Um, we
Remember
got
that
Derek.
game? Remember that game
Yeah.
him and Derek White had?
Oh, geez, insane. Derek White has been getting back in rhythm with his shot. He started off a little slow. Drew Holiday is picking it up on both sides of the ball as well. Um, so this team, man, I can't say anything bad about this team right now. Just need them to finish the job in the regular season. I want that one seed, uh, just so we can control half home court in the Eastern Conference Finals. But we are one of the better road teams in the league this year, so it really wouldn't be too much of a letdown if we get that two seed and Cleveland ends up getting that one seed, because I feel like we can go into anybody's home and steal a couple wins. And that's where the playoff series actually starts, when teams win away games. So, I mean, I'm I'm excited to see the way that this season ends. And this year, I will not miss the parade. I won't. I had to miss it last year because I was coaching in a tournament, but this year I'm making sure nothing is booked that weekend because I'm going. I'll be there. City Hall. My boy Jason Tatum holding a Finals MVP trophy and his second Larry O'Brien trophy.
Now we agree on one thing. I believe the Celtics do represent the East in the finals. Them winning it, I disagree with.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one.
Hey, I'm just letting you know to your face. Just letting you know. But I mean, Teddy said everything he needed to say. Jason Tatum is having a good year. So is Jalen Brown. I think the Celtics just as a team have been playing very, like you said, been playing well. And even when Tatum was down, they looked good because they still had Jalen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis. So as long as they have their core guys and they're healthy, I don't I don't believe in the Knicks. I don't think they're going to do anything.
Nobody
Bucks are
should.
not Bucks are not going to do nothing. If you play the Pistons in the 7-game series, I'm automatically going to pick you guys. I'm just going to be honest about it. Um, Cleveland, I got to see it. I got to see it to believe it. They
Yeah.
have, like I said, they were just on a 4-game losing streak, and then they lost four, 5 of the last 6 games. So like I said, I got to see it. And
Hmm.
Knicks, I don't believe in. The Pacers, the only team if we're thinking about it, I could see the Pacers giving you guys some give you guys some good competition. I don't. The Pistons play you guys hard, but they're a young team. I believe the Pistons are a scary team in the Eastern Conference if they can get it together because of their head coach. Their head coach was in the playoffs last year with the Cleveland Cavaliers, so he has some playoff experience. And he got these guys balling. They got some shooters around Cade, so I can see it happening. But I can see the Celtics in the finals again. I don't see a team that's like overly better than the Celtics in the Eastern Conference. I believe the Thunder win it all, but I definitely believe that you guys get there at least. So
it's all right. I've seen you be wrong before. It's okay.
I ain't been wrong too many times when it comes to you guys. I ain't been wrong too many times. But guess what? The Celtics, the Boston Celtics, the reigning defending champions, are this week's big dog. Here you get your call. Here you go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Dave's Doghouse for this week. Second show this week. I was live on Sunday and I'm live today. So you're going to get some more videos. Look out for some shorts. And I'm going to break these videos down so you can watch each segment individually for each player and each team. Teddy, thank you for coming on today. I appreciate you being on my show today, guy. And I'll always thank you for allowing me to come on your show and talk about baseball and everything. This show today was brought to you by Dave's Doghouse, R2L, and RBO. Like I said, Vaughn from RBO helped me get this list down packed. So make sure you go watch his last video that he just did just a couple nights ago. It was on Thursday night around 11 o'clock p.m. It's about a 20-minute video. Go watch it. He talks about the Eastern Conference playoff race. You're going to like what he says, depending on what team you like. You'll like what he says. But he gives some great content. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to his channel. Like, share, subscribe to BWT, and do the same thing for my channel. Teddy, last words.
Yeah, man. Thanks for sending the info and having me on your show. Always fun to come on any R2L show and talk sports. It's a great family. If you're not in the family, make sure you click the link in the description because it's a great community of sports. We got everything being covered. Make sure you guys tune in. And again, thanks for having me on today.
No problem. I will see everyone Tuesday, 7 p.m. on the R2L show. Like I said, again, like, share, subscribe. Get me to 500 subscribers as soon as possible. And I will see you guys on Tuesday.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.